What is up, everybody? Welcome to Sixers post-game live. Today we are reacting to the Sixers' loss to the Toronto Raptors 115-109. The Sixers moved to 8-5 on the season. Another tough loss for the Philadelphia 76ers. Joining me over there, my man Justin. He is Justin, or at J_Persichetti on Twitter. What's up, Justin?
What is going on, everybody? Listen, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's tough when you lose 3 games in a row, and that's what the Sixers are doing right now. It's the efficiency is just not there at the end of games, and that's what I'm seeing.
Also joining us is my man Tiago at T-Scabby on Twitter. What's up, Tiago?
Yeah, man, another hard-fought loss. It's becoming a norm. It's a lot to ask when you don't have Joel Embiid and when Tobias Harris is struggling from the field. So Sixers put up a fight. You can't complain. I did think that tonight, though, they let a game slip away. I thought that the coaching wasn't as sharp as it was in the previous games. And you saw where they are very deficient personnel-wise, particularly out on the perimeter. So, yeah, I mean, it's another tough one, but you're going to have to get used to it until Joel gets back. It's going to be part of the game plan.
Guys, they were right there. They were right freaking there. Bad execution. You nailed it, Justin. Sloppy play. This is a 1-point game until Doc Rivers calls up this amazing play.
Harris has 19. Maxey hands on to Korkmaz.
Gotta get something.
Bird guarded closely by Van Vliet. Drummond throws it hard.
How many freaking times have we seen this, Tiago? We have seen this again and again. I know Doc has got our guys. He's rallied the troops in a way. No Tobias, no Joel, no Matisse, no Seth in previous games. They have fought valiantly. But how many times have we seen where the Sixers don't have a shot creator? They need a bucket. Andre Drummond throws one up against the goddamn backboard. That's your fucking offense. What are we doing here, Tiago? Jesus
You're
Christ.
telling me you're not a fan of the three-man weave out in the perimeter?
No, what makes me so mad about that was Tyrese Maxey's magic there late in that fourth quarter, man. That guy nearly wheeled us to a win, and you could just throw that out the window because of that horrible offensive possession. What is that?
But that's what you see. We're talking about being personnel deficient, right? Because Toronto is one of the most switchable teams in the NBA, if not the most switchable team. And if you don't have a secondary or tertiary ball handler, there's not much you can do unless you're very creative in how you manufacture offense. So, Drummond not being really a strong post presence down low, you kind of roll that off the table, right? Tobias Harris, not a dynamic ball handler. Korkmaz, not a very dynamic ball handler. That leaves you with Maxey and not much else. That's kind of what they were working with at the end of the game. Granted, they can always be more creative in how they approach offense, but against Toronto, man, you're asking to do a lot there. I don't know.
Maxey had 15 points in the fourth quarter. 15 points, man. He just continues to rise to the occasion. I want to see what his numbers were real quick. Tyrese Maxey had 33 points. He had 2 turnovers, 39 minutes. What is the math on this? Over the last 240 plus minutes, the dude has like 5 turnovers. That is unbelievable play by Tyrese Maxey in this stretch of 5 games. The dude is balling it out. Justin, what was your take on Maxey tonight, man? I'm pissed off.
Well, we know what Dive's take is on this game, and definitely for overall the game got away from them for sure. But Maxey specifically, honestly, nothing but good things. The one thing I will say is, and I don't know if it's as much him or if it's as much the coaching or just how it's going on the court. I really wish that he would give himself the chance at the end of that possession. At the end of that game where Furkan, who threw it up? Furkan threw up something, or Drummond threw up something at the end, the one we just showed. I really wish he could have tried to create something for his own right there. Because he's something else, man. And like Tiago said, he is the only guy on this team right now that can really get his off the dribble besides maybe Seth Curry. But even Seth Curry is not as dynamic and fast lateral laterally as Maxey is. But man, something that I don't think people talk about enough with Maxey, and like obviously the scoring's there. Everyone sees the scoring. Everyone sees the driving to the basket. But the rebounding and the hustle on defense that we've seen around the rim has been really impressive, honestly. He's been sneaking away 4 rebounds, 5 rebounds a game pretty consistently, and also been around the basket. How many blocks? He's been getting at least a block consistently the past few games, has he not?
I definitely.
I feel like he's definitely been around the rim a lot more than I think I expected him to be, honestly.
Had a huge one on OG Anunoby tonight. I don't know if you saw that late in game.
Yeah.
He got on a switch against OG. He's got like 30 pounds on him right there. Yep, right there. Just did not budge, blocked, and then he went the other way for a bucket. I thought that was one of his best plays of the year defensively, quite frankly.
Yeah, here's a stretch of Maxey in the fourth quarter. Just absolutely dynamic. Just terrific. There you get to runner there in the lane. This was when Niang had a lost ball, gave up a transition. Like things were unraveling for the Sixers in the fourth quarter, big time. And Maxey just wielded his team back offensively and defensively. Here he gets another runner. 2 minutes remaining, 1 point game. Just what an amazing performance by Max. He's got 24 field goals made in the last 2 games, averaging over 30 points a game. It's just amazing. We've been raving about this guy for a long time, especially the last week or two. This is some of the best point guard basketball I've seen in quite some time.
It just sucks that these kind of numbers are being put up in losing efforts. Like that's the thing that's really sucks about it. But and I saw you put up that comment about willing to get rid of. Chris Dunn here says at the end, willing to get rid of Tobias Harris for something better at that salary. I think obviously at Tobias's salary, there are better NBA players out there. That's a fact. But in all reality, you need cohesion on an NBA team. Tobias brings a lot of that cohesion on the court and especially off the court. And I genuinely think Tobias Harris is a guy that pairs well with Embiid at the 4 spot. I think that's the best you can go with Harris. You need to bring in another guy, obviously, because he's not going to be your best player on your team, and that's what they needed him to be for them to win the night. That's just not what he is. So he's going to be probably the 3rd best player on a team, in my opinion.
Tyrese Maxey was 8 of 8 from the free throw line tonight. 8 of 8. I mean, that's great.
Yep.
Yeah, just one point on Tobias Harris's presence, because when people talk about how well the locker room is meshing without Ben Simmons and the whole situation, I don't think you can understate Tobias Harris's presence in the locker room for that being the key reason why. I think when you look at leaders on this locker room, I think it starts with Tobias Harris, not Joel Embiid. Not a criticism of Joel. I just think that Tobias Harris is a natural-born leader. Mm-hmm. When you talk about the vibes being great and the team getting along well, it's got to start with Tobias Harris, man. He's been key for that. Now, granted, he was not good tonight. He's been out for about a week. It's expected to happen. Toronto's a tough matchup. So, you kind of expect that to happen tonight. But, they're going to need him here for the road trip. And I'm pretty sure he's going to come through in a couple of games. I can bank on that.
And here's the thing with Tobias. It's not like he put up okay numbers. It's just his efficiency was just not there. Like 7 assists and 7 rebounds is really good from your starting power forward. Like that's a good game.
Yeah.
But when you have 19 points on 18 shots, that's a bad, inefficient game. That's honestly probably why you lose this game.
He had 7 assists at the end of the first half. So he didn't move. He did not help.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was 10 and 7 at the end of the first half. Furkan Korkmaz is 5 of 23. If 5 of 23 the last 2 games.
He's having that cold stretch that he always gets at times.
This is the ebb and flows of Furkan Korkmaz, man. It's tough. It's tough.
In his defense, they're game planning for him now. You notice that he definitely doesn't have as much room to shoot, and when he does, he's just bricking them. I don't know what else. Like he's bricking his open shots. When people are in his face, he's still shooting. I mean, I know he's got a bum wrist, but like what I don't understand is he had that game where he went off with the bum wrist when he first comes back, and then the next 2 games are terrible. It just doesn't make sense to me.
There was a play in the fourth quarter where he tried to run a pick and roll with Paul Reed.
Yeah.
And Corey was wide open on the rim dive.
Mm-hmm.
And Korkmaz like, hey, it's Korkmaz time. I'm going to try to take the shot. And that's when I was like, it's probably too much Korkmaz going on right now in the fourth quarter because that's going to be a pass and a dunk, man. And I think he's feeling a little bit too much of himself right now. I think he's got to dial it down a little bit, play off the catch, and go from there because you just can't have that late in games, man.
Yeah, it's funny you say that too because I literally now every time in like the fourth quarter at the end of the game, I'll see Furkan like take the ball up and Maxey the ball's getting past him. Maxey's like, and the ball is the Furkan and Furkan just keeps going, doesn't even look at him, just goes. And I'm just like, oh no.
You wish you took his confidence and implanted in Ben Simmons, but it's got to be a middle ground somewhere there.
I'm sick of talking about Ben Simmons. Can you believe? Okay,
No, I don't want to talk about
it. We're not going to talk about it at all.
I don't want to. Let's talk about the game. Let's actually talk about the guys that are playing on the court now.
That's true.
Here's the thing, though, on the one not about Ben Simmons, but you watch how Toronto executed late game offense.
Yeah.
And it was very clear defensively how the Sixers were lacking length and explosion on the wing.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to say about Ben Simmons, one thing Ben Simmons does bring to your defense is length and explosion on the wing. So when you try to isolate Andre Drummond 101, you're going to have to ask for help defense out from inside. And the Sixers had Korkmaz and Seth Curry try to rotate out to the three-point line on the wing. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. These guys are slower. They're shorter. And Ben is the kind of guy who can help inside and then hedge out to the three-point line. So happened twice tonight. It was the reason why Toronto got 2 late-game buckets. So it's something they have to address with the roster moving forward.
You look at the Raptors. We got a Raptors fan here. It says Maxey is a beast. Thanks for joining the Monty Python. Love the Monty Python. But you look at their side, like you nailed it, Tiago. Like this is historically a team that the Sixers have struggled against. Teams with a lot of wings, with a lot of athleticism. Boucher, Ashua. You've got what's his
Barnes
name?
now, Scotty Barnes, Anunoby. These guys are big and fast.
Anunoby, like they played really well, and like Justin said, like Tiago said, back-to-back threes there. Just was the difference. Turnovers. The most ironic thing about this game was the Sixers shot 11 of 19 in the fourth quarter. How much have we seen the Sixers completely collapse offensively in that fourth quarter? Now they turned over the ball like crazy. But in terms of getting buckets, they were getting buckets. They just couldn't stop the Toronto Raptors when it mattered most.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing with Toronto and the reason they can run those like smaller units out there is because not only are they athletic, but all of them can shoot. Every single one of them is a threat from behind the 3-point arc. Chris Boucher, who can guard basically anybody in the NBA, in my opinion. He's fast and he also has length and he also can block your shot. And he can shoot threes from the 5 spot. Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet was giving you buckets tonight. Maxey did well at times on him, but Fred VanVleet's Fred VanVleet, and you're going to have a hard time guarding him, especially when the rim presence for the Sixers kind of went down the toilet whenever Andre Drummond came out of the game. It was tough. It was definitely a tough game for them. And I think the biggest thing you saw was the familiarity with the Toronto Raptors at the end of the game and how a lot of the guys they have on that roster have played together, even though they definitely lost some key guys. Fred VanVleet, not Scotty Barnes, my goodness, OG Anunoby, Gary Trent Jr. have all been playing for the past, like, how many months now since Gary got traded over there. And you can see the ball movement, the getting people open, the running around the court. It's seamless defensively and offensively.
Ben Butler says Matisse can help with length on the wing if playing in crunch time, no doubt. We've got a comment. Tyrese Maxey is redeeming the process ghost of Markelle Fultz. Let's wrap it up before we get into player of the game. Andre Drummond. Let's talk a little bit about Andre Drummond. He had this major moment in the fourth quarter.
30 to go. A blocked by Drummond, and
Looks to his assistants. They give him the signal. That is all ball.
All right, Andre Drummond, what a game, especially defensively in that second half. Drummond finished with just 4 points, but 12 rebounds and 4 blocks. Struggled a little bit offensively, but that's not what he's here for. You saw it with that last shot there with a minute remaining. But Thiago, what's your take on Andre Drummond tonight?
Yeah, I know offense is not his game, but if you're Sinis Achua, you got to make him pay a little bit. You just have to. I think you would have given the Sixers more offense. You can clearly tell from the post inside, he's just not comfortable. Misses a lot of stuff around the rim. Yeah, he's a force in the offensive glass, but contrast that with what the Sixers get from Joel Embiid down low. It's like two different worlds of basketball. So I thought they missed an opportunity with him offensively, even though that's not his strong suit. And defensively, yeah, I mean the rim protection, the defensive rebounding is top notch. It's been great all year. You hope that continues. And overall, I think Andre Drummond has been nothing but positive so far to start the year.
And what about you, Justin?
Yeah, Andre Drummond, man, he's just. We thought Dwight Howard, like last year, we kept saying how Dwight Howard was one of the best backups that Embiid had ever had when it came to rebounding and defense when Embiid came off the court. Andre Drummond is, to me, leaps and bounds above what Dwight Howard did last year for the team. Because not only is he a presence on the defensive end and rebounding the ball, he's also a huge presence on offense and able to actually initiate offense on the other end of the court. And that's something that the Sixers truly need, especially when Embiid is off. So, honestly, these games would not even be competitive at all if the Sixers didn't have Andre Drummond on this team.
For sure.
Fact.
Money Python says Drummond was a rebound monster. He's now averaging 19 rebounds the last 3 games, 57 total rebounds. We've got a comment. What did Doc Rivers draw up? We came out of timeout and had Drummond taking the shot the last possession. Dude, we literally started with that. That
is not what he drew up.
No, it's not what he drew up.
But they drew up something completely different.
It's terrible. It's terrible execution, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was terrible execution. It was good. It was good defense by the Raptors. You got to give the Raptors that. It was good defense. They stayed in front of their guys and they did what they needed to do. You noticed and could easily tell how athletic on the wing the Raptors are when they were able to chase down Seth Curry and Furkan Korkmaz and Tyrese Maxey at the end of that possession to force Furkan to have to try to drive. I don't know if you call that a drive or you talk like I don't know what you call Furkan when he gets in those situations because he looks so flustered at times when he's trying to get a shot off and try to create for himself. There are times in a pick and roll where he looks like he can really do well, going between the trees. But then there's times where he's trying to create in space and it looks god awful. So I don't know what to think about him sometimes.
He says, good game. I wouldn't sweat a loss to the Raptors early season. He says the Sixers are going to go to the second round or greater. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. Doc got the dang challenge right for once. I love that comment.
I mean, Jesus.
that was
any more obvious.
Yeah.
Come on now. We're not.
I mean, we can replay that again. That block again, and it literally that had to have been the cleanest block I've seen in a good while. That was clean.
Quentin says we're undermanned. I'm not worried about these games. That's fair. That is totally fair. Steven says, Maxey, that bull you heard. Let's go into player. Anybody else have any comments before player of the game?
Yeah, I mean, coaching, man.
Ooh.
Let's go back to the third quarter. Sixers were up 10. What happens then?
Yeah.
Raptors turn into a zone. Completely stymie the Sixers offense. Sixers, are struggling to stop dribble penetration through Fred VanVleet. No answers for him. Kept the same lineup for an extended amount of time, and a 10-point lead turned into a 5 or 6 point deficit, just like that.
Yep.
And that is a staple of a Doc Rivers team. We see that every year, multiple times in the year and the postseason. slow to adjust. It happened again today in the third quarter, and it flipped the game around. So,
All right, let's go into player of the game.
Real quick, I do have one more thing. Sorry. Shake Milton, I don't know how to feel about this guy. Like and last year, me and Dives were like super, super excited about Shake Milton and the role he was going to get on this team. And the point guard bench role was like, we were super excited about it because me and Dives, I'm sure Tiago has as well, but I know me and Dives have talked about Shake Milton a lot and how excited we were for him to get his shot in the league. And it's just, I don't know what to think about him because offensively, sometimes he looks good, but then defensively, he looks god awful.
Justin,
like, the amount of like crappy the amount of like knick-knack fouls that he gets, it's just, I don't know. I can't comprehend it. Like, I feel like Doc is pulling his non-existent hair out on the side of the court, like every time Milton like commits a foul.
Justin, he's a shooting guard.
I know. I'm not talking
about that.
I'm talking about defense, Tiago. You don't have to be a point guard or a shooting guard to not commit fouls.
Yeah, defense is who he is, man. You're not going to really change that. Offensively, you got to play off the ball, man. He just continues to try to run offense or Shake Milton. It drives me absolutely crazy sometimes.
All right, let's go into player of the game. I'm just going to take the easy one here. Tyrese Maxey. Numbers-wise, last 6 games for Tyrese Maxey, 240-plus minutes, 33 assists, just 4 freaking turnovers. And what has been, I think, the most kind of like thing I have been watching over these last few games is his defense. Here are some plays from Tyrese Maxey defensively. Here he's defending Van Fleet. Look at him just play suffocating defense just all over him and contest the shot. And Van Fleet gets nothing. Here's he gets the pull up on the other end here in the first quarter. Then we go to the next play here. Tyrese Maxey has shown really a lot of progress fighting through screens over these last handful of games. Here's another possession where he fights this screen and he blocks. Is that Anunoby? I'm not sure who that is on the other end, but another block. Tyrese Maxey had 2 blocks tonight. And I'm just, as much as I want to say his offense has been impressive, dude is showing so many flashes defensively. And every single Sixers fan has to be truly excited about his point guard play, scoring ability, and his defensive ability over this stretch. Let's go to Justin. Who was your player of the game?
Well, you stole mine, but you took the easy one. You don't usually take the easy one. So
I know. Yeah. All right, go. I'll wait till you guys go, and I'll have one more.
It's hard for me to pick through Sixers right now because I don't feel like many other Sixers played well besides Maxey tonight. But I will go with Paul Reed.
That was where I was gonna go.
Yeah, Paul Reed, I felt like did pretty well in he only played 13 minutes tonight, but he did have 3 steals, and he did exactly kind of what I said in the last post game show. If you didn't hear me say it, go back and watch the other full one that we had. I believe it was the last games. Paul Reed is just so good in a pick and roll at defending the low man on a pick and roll. It's kind of impressive how he can really get his arms in there and deflect and also just break up passes. And he makes it hard on guys, and that's what you need in a guy who's basically your energy guy off the bench right now. So, Paul Reed.
Thiago.
Yeah, I was going to go with Paul Reed as well for some of the reasons that Justin stated. I thought that he changed the game in that first quarter. He had a really good run. He was like a +8 in like the first minute of action. I mean, steals, defense. And I think that how he really helped is that his ability to rim run offensively was really sucking Toronto's off defense inside, which freed up a ton of open threes for the Sixers in that stretch. So his athleticism, his defensive versatility continues to be a huge plus here the last couple of weeks. Why he doesn't play more, I don't understand, specifically when Scotty Barnes started shooting over, Steph Curry and those things. So, and also being a presence in the offensive glass. So there's definitely room for me to play more. The one thing about him, though, is when the ball swings to the corner, man, you got to shoot. You got to shoot. You got to shoot.
I actually forgot to say that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot to mention that because that was driving me nuts too. There was 2 instances where he was wide open and decided to cut in. And like I know he's never been like an amazing corner 3-point shooter, but like you got to take that shot. As simple as that. And I'm like I've been a Paul Reed guy since his last year in the G League, but you got to take that shot.
Because I think his future is on the wing. If he's going to be a wing, he has to shoot that ball, man. Because he's shown defensive flashes of being a wing.
It's funny though because in those minutes, what do you say?
He looks scared to shoot. Like he is 100% hesitating every time.
He's definitely hesitating, but I feel like he's definitely a rhythm player, which is not good if you're going to be playing off the bench for your career. He's definitely, and it's something I noticed with the Blue Coats as well, is he wouldn't shoot threes until he got in a rhythm. It's kind of like how Joel is a lot of times with shooting the mid-range shots. He'll start out taking, at least last year, he would start out taking that long three-pointer. If he made the three-pointer at the beginning of the game, you knew it was going to be a good game. And then if he missed it, you're like, okay, he's probably going to go down low more today. So, like, that's a similar thing that Reed did with the Blue Coats last year. So I think it might be a rhythm thing where he's like, okay, I have not taken a jump shot this game. If I take a jump shot right now in the corner, I'm going to airball it. So I don't know.
But if you put that on tape, man, defenses are going to really scout that, and they're not even going to play him on the wing. So you got to just take him and then see how defenses react. You know?
I will say, though, he was playing the center in those minutes where he did get out in the corner right there. So maybe he was just trying to create for the 4 other shooters that were out on the floor, trying to drive in and find a shooter. I don't know.
Yep.
This is one of my favorite moments of the game. We have a comment. What was the crowd chanting at Maxey? Just like to go back a little bit, right? Shams reported that, Ben is being treated unfairly. The negative publicity. I know, but I just want to just piggyback off of that because this happened right after that. Tyrese Maxey just went off, and all Sixers fans started chanting MVP while he was at the free throw line. Those awful Sixers fans. So that was a fun moment. Let's go into this, and then we'll wrap it up. You look at the remaining schedule for the Philadelphia 76ers at Pacers. They've got a tough stretch at Jazz, at Denver, at Portland, at Kings, at Warriors. We're in this stretch. We've lost 2 tough ones. How many wins there do you see us winning of the remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games? Are we going to finish 0-7? What are we looking at, guys?
They may be able to squeak one against the Kings. Warriors are playing unbelievable basketball. Blazers are star power team. Nuggets with Jokic. Jazz tough. Pacers playing better. Yeah.
Here's the thing. When is Matisse Thybulle expected to be back? Is there any sort of news that's come out recently about Matisse? I haven't seen anything.
I've seen nothing.
Okay. That's my thing. To me, a lot of these games really depend on Matisse Thybulle. Matisse has had good luck against Dame. He's had good luck against guys like Tyrese Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox. He's played well against the Pacers in the past. And I think he played well against Donovan Mitchell as well. So, if you get some defense back on this team, I think you might have a shot based on how the Sixers have been playing offensively. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. I would say, obviously not counting the Bucks and Raptors games, you could probably squeak away 2 wins. 2 wins maybe.
But here's the thing, though. You finished the month off with the Timberwolves and the Magic at home. So you're going to get 2 wins to finish off the month, and then you go from there, man. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. Sixers have to get healthy and get right and go from there.
Quentin says, I plan to skip all the games and just watch TPO to find out what happened. I'm cool with that. I am totally cool with that.
As long as you're watching TPO, we're happy.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. Justin, what do you got going on, man? Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can go find me on Twitter right here at J_Persichetti. Blue Coats beat reporter for the Painted Lions. Blue Coats had their first game this Saturday. If you want to go see some stuff from my Twitter, I posted up some videos, some pictures, and some quick hitters from their first overall pick, Shamari Pons. And I thought that was a pretty funny moment. Apparently, he didn't even know he got drafted. So go find that on my Twitter if you want to see some funny things about the G League.
I love this comment real quick, Tiago. Matisse COVID vlog. I'm surprised we haven't gotten that yet. I would love to see that. Just him just hanging out in his apartment or something.
One thing that Matisse has said, he said he loves doing it, but he doesn't want it to be a distraction. I think he's actually being really smart not doing it because I feel like if he doesn't want to create any sort of distractions from what's already going on.
Here's an idea. I got an idea. How about a Matisse COVID attempt 100 3-pointers?
Nice. You make a vlog
Vlog that.
Tiago, where can we find you? What do you got going on?
Hey man, we're doing this after games. We're doing the morning cup of Joe tomorrow, right, Chris?
Let's do
Bright and early, 5:30 in the morning.
5:30.
Get into more detail of what happened. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff we'll be able to break it down. It was a back and forth game, and yeah, check out Justice's stuff, man, because the Blue Coats are loaded with prospects. Jaden Springer, Aaron Henry. These guys should be fun to watch.
They just went back down too. They just got called back down to the Blue Coats, so both of them should be there. The Blue Coats play tomorrow in Maine, I believe it is. For if they play Boston's G League team, but it's away, so sadly I won't be at the game. Their next home game isn't until literally the end of the month. It's so upsetting.
It's so upsetting. So, like they played Saturday, they don't play the next game until tomorrow night.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
But I will say at least the Aaron Henry and Jaden Springer get to go down for that game. That's the one thing I will say is that they're not going to go on the road with the Sixers. They get to actually go back down and play with the G League, which makes me happy because that means I get to see them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Jaden Springer. So let's wrap it up here. Morning Cup of Joe. You're not going to make me watch that last play again where Drummond just throws one up against the backboard. Well, I don't know if I can handle that.
Late game offense will wins championships, man.
Lack of execution.
Sixers have been lacking a good late game offense, I think, for how many years now?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I was told that this was a Brett Brown problem, right? Here we are near 2 of Doc Rivers.
Who told you that?
There's some fans out there who thought Brett Brown was this awful head coach.
It is a roster problem, in my opinion. To me,
not just a Ben Simmons problem.
Yes.
What was it? Like you had a Maxey bad pass leads to a Raptors bucket. You had a Seth Curry turnover. You had the Raptors with back-to-back offensive boards led to an Anunoby 3-pointer, pushed the Toronto lead to 8. And then you had the Tobias Harris step back 3, which was awesome. But then the next play, Niang loses the ball and leads to a transition dunk. Like,
yeah,
I can't handle it, man. That's just brutal. Right when they're right in, and then anyway. Let's
minivan. By the way, I love how he just like disappears as soon as Tobias comes back. Everyone's so excited about George Niang, and then all of a sudden, Tobias Harris comes back and he gets no shots.
Yeah.
No shots at all.
Yeah. I did kind of really want Tyrese Maxey to get the ball in his hands that last possession.
Me too.
When they were down 1, like, dude was on fire, man. Give the ball to Maxey. Give the ball to your hot hand. Yep. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. All right, guys. Follow my man Justin on Twitter at J_Persicaddy. He is my man Tiago on Twitter at TScabby. I am Dibes, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. I've got a movie trivia night tomorrow night. We're doing 90s trivia, 90s movie trivia. That's going to be a lot of fun. Live stream, live reaction. And then Saturday, I've got my science. I'll be hosting another one, but it's our science fiction movie draft. I've got the last pick in the draft. I'm very excited about that one. Last draft I was in, I won with the 10th pick. So it's like fantasy football style, snake style, where I had the first pick in the second round. So I've got some movies I'm circled on. Yeah, Justin.
Real quick, Saturday night, there's a Sixers game as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm not going to make that one.
Sadly, I will not be as well. So we will see if we can either get Tiago or
get
what you said?
That makes 3 of us.
You're not going to be here too? Okay, well, we'll see if anybody else is going to come on here to do the post game. I doubt it, but we will see. My girlfriend's birthday is coming up, so I got to take her out for dinner. Dives is busy with some YouTube videos. Tiago, I don't know what you're doing, but it's probably important.
Yeah, it's important. Trust me.
Yeah, so we're most likely not going to be here on Saturday, but we will be back for the next game, I would assume. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. I don't know if y'all can save me and have a good idea of what when next game is. But
yeah, I got it.
you got it.
Next, well, when the next game? I have no idea. I know
Saturday is the next one, and then the next one after that. Either someone save me in the comments or put somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure we'll be here for it. So stick around. Leave a like on the video if you haven't already.
No question. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please be sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, smash that bell. Don't miss any of our Sixers videos. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning at 5:30. Me and Tiago are going to break down this game even further, this painful game. This was another fun game. Not so much the way it ended, but thank you, everyone, for watching again. Stay awesome, everybody.